So when we talk about that target, that closing the gap between where you are and where you want to be, we're really talking about aspiration. And what we've found from 70 years of doing this, and then many of our guys, if I think about my 30-year experience and the guys that we have working with our clients, it's really important to understand that the aspiration is just as important as the what are you going to then do about it. So it becomes the what and the how. Equally, as part of that, it's really important that you gain and that we gain alignment from your teams around that aspiration, that everybody understands that that's the goal. And then once we've got that agreement, we can really focus on achieving it and getting that target in place. Whether you're talking about achieving an increase in production, or whether you're talking about changing the culture to a safe, productive operation, you still need that aspiration, you still need that target, and we believe that you still need to measure the results that come from that. And you want to be able to measure those through to your P&L statement. What's really interesting, I took a look at some of the research around consulting and how clients feel about the return that they're getting on their consulting engagements. And if I look at some of the research that's done by Source Global Research, a research organization that really looks at consulting engagements and the outcomes of those engagements, does a lot of the trend analysis and so on. One of the things that they found when they get client feedback about results is that there's not necessarily a hard number put on all consulting engagements. In fact, I think the most recent research number was that about 40% of clients are not necessarily convinced that they're getting the full return on their consulting spend. And so what I really want to talk about there is a little bit of our scorecard and some of the results that we get and some of the tracking. What does that tracking actually tell us? Well, what's really, really important is knowing that we track every engagement. So I asked our team to go back and particularly after seeing that research, it horrified me that clients actually are concerned that they're not getting a return on their investment in consulting spend. And so I asked the guys to go back through our past 1,000 engagements, 1,000. And here's what we found. Out of those 1,000, 621 of those engagements were actually financially measured, which means that we did track them right through to the P&L statement. All that means is that the remainder, the difference between 621 and 1,000, is that they were milestone based. It means that we were doing a particular type of work that didn't necessarily require the financial side, but it still requires a return. And so it's important that we're still measuring against it. We do that, but in a slightly different way.